lobster, oyster, caviar, other bullshit fancy foods that rich people eat. And guess what? They used to be peasant food for peasants, for brokies like me and you. These are just some foods labeled as luxury, which I find stupid. It's not luxury. They used to be broke people food. You know, lobster is called the cockroach of the sea. Cockroach, a bug, a sticky, gross, yucky bug of the sea. The nasty bugs that live through radiation of a bomb, not a nuclear explosion, but the radiation of it. That's a big misconception. People go on about how, oh, a cockroach can survive a nuclear attack. No, it can't. It can survive the radiation of a nuclear attack and not the attack itself, because it would be sizzled like a medium rare steak, It'd be fried, it'd be done. Anyway, off topic. Today I'm going to be describing luxury foods that aren't luxury. They all started off as peasant food. Lobster, the cockroach of the sea, used to be an abundance of cheap protein for the low-life poors, such as me and you. Now, this is how lobster got expensive. Lobster was caught frozen, then cooked days later. People said the texture was diminished than if it would be cooked fresh. Like, you catch it and then you grill it, or saute. I don't know. How do you cook lobster? Boil it before you boil it. The rich caught wind of fresh equals better, so they paid a lot of people to catch a lot of lobster. This is called overfishing. This in turn drove up the demand and the price with it. The U.S. sold over 111 million pounds of lobster alone in 2021. That is an estimated $625 million, which is crazy. Number 2, oysters were for brokies too. Rocky Mountain oysters. Yeah, oysters. The fish, clam things. Back in ye old London days, barrels actually of oysters, were just on the street, and they could just pick them. They were big barrels covered with ice and oysters in them, and people would just grab them and shuck them. The reason broke folk ate oysters is because they're filter feeders, so everything around them was clean and they grew naturally. So, like, you could just go up to, a random deck and oyster, yummy. Okay, you're about to see me not be able to pronounce the word shellfish, so yeah, it took a couple takes, so enjoy. And oysters, like other shellfish, have an iron. Fuck. Other oysters, like shellfish. Oysters, like other. Oyster, like other. Shellfish. Oysters, like other shellfish, have shellfish. Oysters, like other shellfish. Oh my god, fuck. Oysters, like other shellfish, Jesus fucking Christ, have iron, calcium, and plenty of B12. The peasants of London used to use oysters as substitute for traditional meat because traditional meat was too pricey. Who would have thought? Now, here's how oysters became pricey. Well, instead of rich greed, we ate so many oysters and we ran out by the 19th century. Oysters were very rare at that point because we loved them so much that we just ate them all the time, and we physically ran out of oysters, and we ate them too quick. They were just gone like that. The reason this happened was because we got greedy and started doing year-round fishing, aka overfishing. You're gonna see that pop up a lot here. Therefore, we caught more oysters, and oysters don't multiply very quickly. Now, that brings us to the present day. Rich people now eat oysters Rich people now eat oysters due to the abundance of them. They are now a delicacy, which I never thought they were that good to begin with, to be honest with you. Not a big oyster guy. Last but not least, number 3. Just like lobsters, we sell a fuckload of oysters. Did I name reasons? I did not name reasons. Why did I put number 3? Just like lobsters, we sell a fuckload of oysters. America sold 30 million pounds of oyster, or $327 million of old peasant food. What? 30 million pounds. Do you know how much does the earth weigh? I'm sure more than 30 million pounds. Caviar. For multiple centuries, caviar was a poor peasant food. This all started in the 12th century Russia, where it was easy to find sturgeon. Sturgeon is the fish that the fish eggs come from, and the caviar, the caviar, little tiny baby eggs, that's sturgeon eggs. The Russian ate every part of the fish, including if the fish was pregnant, was the eggs. They ate the eggs. Americans overfished sturgeon, and there was barely any. Oh, fuck, I've skipped a lot. It was like this for centuries. Then, like we do all the time, Americans overfished sturgeons, and there was barely any left. The rareness increased in the late 19th to early 20th century. Do I have a lisp? 20th? No, I'm saying that right. 20th. Yeah, I'm saying that right. Due to the lack of fish population, eggs were rare. And have you seen how many eggs they have? You know, if we just took a second and we kept those eggs, made more fish, I don't think we'd have this problem. Oh yeah, we're gonna do the same thing we did with the other two, except we don't have a weight. So the U.S. sold only a puny amount, $100 million of caviar. This is only like 2 of my houses. In conclusion, lobsters, oysters, and caviar are now richy rich foods. Like all throughout history, the rich fucked over the poor, and honestly, not really in this situation. I wouldn't go out of my way to order lobster. And just, I've heard of so many people have shit their brains out because of oysters. They're like, oh, I had some bad oysters the other day, and I shit for 13 hours straight. Like, I'm not taking that risk. These are all just status symbols once again in the big dick pissing contest of the world. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys in the next one. And send in requests for what you want to see. I got a business email. I will put it in the description below. This one person emailed me and said they wanted a video about school, so watch out for that one. All right, go take a nap.